Hi, it's Bobby Allison with the Allison Synthesis channel. I'm out with Lou and we're walking around and distressing and meditating. She's doing a lot of sniffing. She hasn't had a lot of energy today, not as much as she had yesterday and the day before. I don't know what's up. I think her breathing problems are bothering her today. Well, folks, I wanted to take the time and kind of change up from talking about cars and vet bills and all that to the circumstances that are really at the forefront right now in our realities, and that's the uncertainty of war, which has always been something that's existed ever since there's been wars. And so it's a very scary thing. It's right now it seems as though that there's just so many things going on. It makes it so chaotic and very difficult to understand, and you feel restrained from planning things or hoping for something better. These type of things do happen when we're in times of great uncertainty. Well, I want to let you know right away that this is nothing unusual. Civilizations and peoples have been going through this for millenniums. Ever since there's been political, social, civilization, society, there's always been upheavals, and there's been turnovers in the way cultures operate, and the way governments operate, and how the people are treated. So this is something that's not unusual, and now we're going through it. We are now those people who are part of the history that's going to be written about for hundreds of years, is what happened during these last really 2 decades, actually, and how we got to this place. It's really important to remember that handling stress is something that you have to manage on a day-to-day basis, sometimes on hour-to-hour, sometimes minute-to-minute. And one of the first things to understanding how to manage stress is to accept the fact that you cannot control people, places, or things, and the stresses that arrive from that. You can't control that. Most of the stress that we have in our lives actually we're responsible for, but in circumstances like now, these are from outside. These are outside stresses coming in, and we have to accept the fact that there's nothing we can do to control those stresses, those events that are happening. So we begin to overthink them. We begin to develop catastrophes in our mind of things that are going to happen in the future, though that we have it is impossible, is what I'm trying to say, for us to predict the future in any way. Nobody's been able to do that, and I think Lou agrees with me, right, Lou? Nobody can predict the future, and this is one of those things where when we anticipate what the future is going to be, we create more stress on ourselves. Stress is the number one enemy of all animals, especially primates, and especially in human beings. It's really what leads to most of our diseases and unfortunate healthcare outcomes as a result of stress. Stress causes inflammation, and then the inflammation then does the rest. And therefore, one of the recommendations, and this comes from a highly recognized expert in the field of neuroscience, and him and his wife are renowned primatologists, and that is Dr. Robert Sapolsky out of Stanford University. And he discusses how we process stress and how we process the uncertainty of the future, is more specifically. And that's what we're going through now. And one of the things is you really can't think too far out. The more you think too far out, the more stress there's going to be. Yes, you want to prepare. But there's a time when you need to prepare for something that's going to be a difficult situation or an extraordinary event that's going to affect your life in a different ways, whether it's financially or emotionally or physically. It doesn't make a difference. So with that being said, what we want to do is find a balance of practicality versus not overthinking into the future, thinking we know how things are going to turn out. We have no idea what's going to happen in Iraq. And we have no idea what's really going to happen here in the United States with the upcoming elections. There's no way to know that. There are plenty of things we can do if we have certain outcomes that we would like to see. We have certain beliefs that we would like to see come to fruition. And then you can work on those. Whatever side you're on, then you do those things. Those are very important. Dr. Sapolsky points out that that's really a great way psychologically to manage all the stress that we're facing, is getting around with other people who are going through the same thing as you and I are. And there's plenty, that's most people. And so we're all having various degrees of anxiety. Some people just don't care at all. Good for them, that they can do that. Therefore, by utilizing these mind exercises, disciplines for yourself, not thinking too far out into the future, thinking that you know what the future is going to be, because you don't. Nobody does. And the other thing is that keeping yourself balanced by compartmentalizing in a way, shortening down. It's actually shortening the window down from, let's say, 6 months from now or a year from now. Let's get it down into something more 3-4 months, and be more practical. The doctor's appointments, getting the car maintenance done. Visiting the vet, that type of thing. Those are the practical things that we know that we can do. And as far as what's going to happen with Iran, or what's going to happen here in this country, we really don't have any control over that individually. Now, as groups, we do. And that's why if you feel really stressed and you just don't know what to do, that's what you can do. Is you can volunteer, you can become a part of a group for whatever is supporting the same things that you support. And being around people who support your ideas, this will help you reduce the amount of stress that you're having, and you'll have less health problems because of that. And just keep in mind that millions and millions of other people have survived these cultural, social, economic, and geopolitical upheavals. And we're going to survive this, and I think you're going to survive it as well. And I believe that we will come out on the other side in a positive way, and there will be progress for all of us. Until the next time, thank you so much for coming to the channel. I'm Bobby Allison. And I think that's Lulu over there. I think I get her in the camera. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.